In this demo, we're going to show you the deployment of Cloud Pak for Business Automation to deploy services. The first thing we're going to do is look at the environment file. There are two main sections that are important. The first is the version that you want to deploy and any fixed packs that you want to deploy with. And the next is the services you want to deploy. In this case, we're going to deploy production content. And we want to turn that on for true. And we're going to point to two external servers for the LDAP server and for the database server. Now what we're going to do is we're going to execute the services file. So what we're going to do is run the Daffy service.sh, and we're going to pass it the environment name that has the information for our deployment. In this case, it's going to be Alpha 01. And what it's going to do first is going to do all the pre-checks that are required for this stage. So that's going to make sure the environment file that we have has the correct values, that the version that we are asking to deploy matches the supported version of OpenShift, that we have the right tools installed on the machine, that we have an actual storage cluster that we can communicate with to store the storage for the deployment, and then we want to make sure that the storage cluster is available to us. Once those have been validated, it's going to make sure that the cluster is healthy and any other command line tools that are needed for the deployment. Now that everything's been successfully passed, it's going to now get to work and do the deployment. So the first thing it's going to do is going to build the service files that it needs based on the environment file you've supplied it. Once the service files have been completed, it will save those to a temporary location, and it will actually then download the case tool from the IBM Cloud Pak based on the version that we've specified. In this case, it's case 5.1.1. And what it's going to do now is generate the SQL commands, but in this case not execute it because we told it was false. And it's going to generate the LDIF commands, but not execute as well because we told it not to build it as well. Then it's going to create all the secrets that it needs for this deployment, and it's going to actually apply those to the actual cluster in our namespace. Then it's going to actually deploy the CR that we just built based on the environment variable that you passed into the script process. At this point, you'll get three commands you can do to verify the status of the process. So you can see the status, you can look at the operator logs, and so forth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to log on to the console and just show you kind of what got built. As you can see now, we're in the namespace, and we have a couple extra pods at this point. And let's go and look at the deployment itself. And we're going to look for the ICP cluster type, and that's going to be the object that we deployed. And as you can see, the instance we've deployed is ICP for deploy, and it's in our namespace. As you can see here, it's been deployed, and in the current process, it's running reconciliation. And this will take about 2 to 4 hours for it to complete. At this point, you've deployed the service.